Hello, she's Trixie, and I'm Sarah, and this is Our Yarn World, a place we come to share the love of yarn crafts and all that it gives us and what we hope it gives you. We're on episode 211 today, and we weren't able to do last week due to just a lot of things going on behind the scenes. We're working through some stuff, and we just need a pause. But we had been continuously crafting during that time, and we have things to share with you regardless. I think it looks like both of us are kind of trying some new things.
Yeah.
And I know that I personally really just went on this little rabbit hole and have just been enjoying what I've been finding. So,
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I decided to make stuff out of cotton yarn, and there is a difference. I have found a difference between the cotton yarns, and I will go in depth about that. But so the first thing that I made was a couple more dishcloths, and I made it out of the sugar and cream. And
Sugar and cream.
yeah, and that's you know, everybody knows of that brand who works with cotton, and this one is called Painted Desert. So just all kinds of, but now I had two different ones of these, two different Painted Deserts, and I did the same amount of stitches, and one of them came out bigger and had more color in it, and one of them came out smaller.
Same stitch.
Yep.
It's same size hook.
Yeah. So I don't know what the difference is.
You might have been tighter.
I don't know.
One.
But so yeah, this is one of the differences. It's a little bit more, you can feel that it's cotton.
Yeah.
It's when I'm testing my my balls of yarn in my drawers, I usually have a cotton side and then a acrylic side, and I can usually tell the difference. So that's one thing that I was doing. And then I decided with the same sugar and cream, the same painted desert, to make a pot holder. Now it is not done. It's just a long rectangle that I put a loop on already.
You're trying to sew.
But I was waiting for the Insel Bright. So I did not know, because I make blankets, right? I did not know what to look for in the stores. I ended up ordering this online. It took a while to get here. It's called Insel Bright, and it is for hot and cold energy. It reflects hot and cold energy back to its source. You don't have to pre-wash it. It's needle punched insulated lining. So when you use your pot holder or whatever, you should be able to use it right in the oven or whatever, or put a hot pan on it, and it should keep the area or your hand safe.
Wow.
So I wanted to show you the package because I didn't know what to look for.
Yeah.
So I waited until I did this video. After the video or whatever, I will cut a piece that is slightly smaller than this. I will insert it inside, and I will stitch around the 3 remaining sides that are not, because this side is already, because it's just one long. And then I'll be able to make more if I want to, because I've got plenty of that Insel Bright now.
Oh, look at that.
So
I love this.
Yes. Now, I decided to continue with the kitchen theme, and I wanted to make a placemat. Now, so my placemats look like that, and they are getting worn. I mean, we have had these for years.
Long thing.
Long. They're stained, they're worn, they're just due for something new. And I thought, springtime's coming, let's make something new, right? And I had this in my stash already. It is called I Love This Cotton. It is a Hobby Lobby brand. It comes in little skeins like this. Now to show you, it's just about as big as my hand. It's a little bigger than my hand. It's just,
it's like a handful.
Yarn. Very small, but it's nice. It's let me see. It's 180 yards, 100 grams, and it's 100% cotton. 4-ply. But feel that.
Oh, it's much softer than
Yes.
the other blend or recipe or whatever it's called.
So I measured the original placemat and then kind of made my own. Isn't that pretty? It's called Sage. Now let's see. Yeah. The name of this color is 40 Sage. I don't know if you can see that, but so yeah, I made one, and this is how much is left out of that.
You could make a coaster.
I was trying to use the whole thing, but it was getting bigger and bigger, and I thought, you know what, we don't
border it.
I thought what I could do was, since I have a yellow, a green, and a light gray, maybe I could use the different colers to border them.
Oh, so that they're all interconnected. That's so cool.
I'll have to get more. I have a 6, actually it's 8.
Seating
8 seating
table.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll have to get more, but it's been really fun doing something that I can just do. Now this is a 5mm hook, a half double crochet. I think I began with, I chained 46, and it ended up making a 19 by 10 placemat. 19 inch by 10 inch placemat. So I am really happy, and this has drape. This is so much softer, it has drape. Now this
Is stiff.
is stiff.
Yeah, it's starchy.
This has drape. I don't know what the difference is. They're both claiming to be 100% cotton.
It's also probably how they're prepped and how they're gone through the machine so many times or whatever, when they're pulling the fibers and stuff.
I really don't know what the difference is, except I really like this. I love this cotton yarn.
I think each company too has their own way of conditioning the fibers.
This yellow is called, let me see, 326 Curry. And so it's just so cute and nice, and I love the drape. If I was going to make a garment, I would use something like this where you have the actual drape and it's cotton and it's all the things that you're checking off your list, right? So I'm just thinking, if I was going to make a garment, I would probably use these. And that is the end of my things that I made for my kitchen and my dining area.
That's so much fun. I love that. I love that
Yeah.
so much.
So what have you been making?
I just realized I ordered stuff. It's not here. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Listen, I've been on a rampage. I don't think you understand what I'm going to end up showing you guys next week. Kind of excited for it. I've been on this thing. Last time I showed you the little pom-pom little bird that I made.
Yeah.
There is other pom-pom crafts I want to do. I just didn't get the right colors to be able to get that done yet, but I'm going to do it. I also was on Pinterest, and I kept seeing all these different, because I was going through my folder of my, for my crafting, and realizing all these ideas I've never actually done that I want to complete. And they're kind of in that same vein of something I've never really done before that I'd really like to.
Yeah.
Now, I'm learning very specific things, which is that you have different arts of having some form of a loom, circle, brace, that then can have something on the inside be presented inside of it. So like, you got mandalas where normally it's kind of like a, and I've made these before, where it's like, you kind of create a lace pattern, like a doily, and then you stretch it taut and put it on that frame so that you can kind of see it presented.
It's very pretty.
Other forms of mandalas like that can be done in woven patterns, where you can get sticks laid across, and then you weave the yarn through those sticks in a very specific way that will, the yarn still braced across the frames, but they kind of come out in a very similar woven mandala. But then you have another way of doing it, which is you're going from the loom inside. You're doing the pattern of the yarn from the outside in.
Okay.
And normally we would look at those as kind of like dream catchers or things of that nature. Now, because I don't want to be disrespectful of any culture where all these are coming from, I really still need to look into the mandala culture, because I would really like to figure out where that all originated from. But I mean, I'm just not sure, so I don't want to assume. But when it comes to dream catchers, I've been educating myself on them, and I learned, now I knew that they were native to Native Americans, but I was learning that the tribes that they originate from are the Ojibwe tribe, or Ojibwa, and then the Chippewa or Chippewa. Chippewa tribe. Okay, you might know how to say these correctly. I'm trying to be very respectful here, as I have been learning about what they do. But these tribes would learn. They didn't learn. They thought of this practice, and it was the idea that it was, I want to say, if I'm correct, the symbolism of the hoop represented strength and unity. The web inside represented the Spider Woman who protects the children, and the feathers acts like a ladder for the good dreams to reach the sleeper. So a lot of times, the idea was that this was coming from a place of, and the belief of dreams was that they come to you, and so they were trying. They thought of a way that in their culture, they could trap the bad dreams while allowing the good ones pass through.
Okay.
And
that's why it's called dream catcher, right?
Dream catcher, exactly.
Okay.
They have it in the style of a spider web because they believed in this. I believe it's the symbolism of a Spider Woman. So some sort of figure in their culture or in story that they told or believed that this woman would weave webs to keep children safe and safe from outside sources. And it's very interesting, and the reason why I thought it was very interesting is because the amount of points that for the first row of the web that you're making, all have different reasons. So some points of the web may present as the phases of the moon, so 13 of them to start and then going in, or it could be the legs of a spider, so 8 going in. And I think I have seen other people or somewhere else online saying 7 representing the 7 ancestors that is very commonly talked about in these tribes, and as I've been looking it up, so I didn't want to be disrespectful. It is a very beautiful part of their history, and it seems to be this art form comes from it almost seems like a very parental place, like they wanted to protect their children from bad dreams, and so they would make these as a means to be able to kind of give their children the sense of safety.
Right.
Like they would pass them down, or maybe they would make them for each child with different things, because you could put different things that you included in them, different relics or beads or feathers or stuff. They were all things that were gathered just to make just one.
Right.
And it was all very special. And they were made from some sort of willow. I don't know if it was bark or what, but they made the hoop normally out of willow, and then the strings were made, and then they were wrapped in all these different ways. And it seems like a very big act of love. Like these were made
very personalized,
very personal and very big acts of love, and they were given to protect. And I love that. I love that history. And I know that I have native blood in our family, both from my mother's side and my father's side, independent. I don't know our history. I am not aware of the tribes or what it was that brought some of these, what caused the families to come together. I don't know. But looking it up, because there's a lot of people that, because they like this story, they overly appropriate this stuff and they mass produce it to make a wealth off of other people's culture. That's not what I'm trying to do here.
Right. No.
But I've looked it up, and there's quite a few, many different places that come from these cultures, and from territories and tribes that still are active and together, that talk about how we have no problem with you appreciating it. And even if you want to making one for yourself or for your home. But it's about not profiting off of it, not mass producing it, not making us something that you can then sell. And
right.
I was just like, I can understand that. They're not mad at the art form, and they're not mad about you appreciating the story. It's just being able to not just making a quick buck off of something that is so integral to their traditions and their stories and their history. Exactly. There's no reason to do that. So I have no problem with respecting that. But I was very inspired by some of these some of these designs. And I'm not done. And I don't even know how many points I have on here. I really kind of just went with it. If I made one more intentional, I'd probably choose a number that I wanted based off a very specific reason, all the different things, figuring out the history and stuff, because I've always liked them, but I want, again, I'm trying to learn how to be very respectful here, because it is a very unique history, a very unique reason that they were made. But I got this done. This was a frame, one of those loops, those metal loops that we got from Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
And I saw different people doing videos as to how to make different designs.
I like it.
To start, and I have done this one so far. I would really like to do the next inside frame to be all in black, but I didn't have I couldn't find my black yarn, so this is just where I stopped. But I really like this. I don't know if what I'm doing could be considered a dream catcher. I'm not saying that it is, but I know that because I'm coming from the outside in, I wanted to look into that history and look into what it means to be that and what they look like. And I wasn't going to not be educated before doing it because, again, my inspiration was already coming from a place of the dream catchers.
Right.
So even if that's not what I'm making, because my inspiration comes from there, I wanted to educate myself about that.
Exactly.
I would really like to educate myself about the mandalas, so probably next week I'll have that for you guys. But just coming from a place of when we share each other's art forms, there's no reason to claim it as our own. There's no reason to, we're all sharing it. Yeah. But when some specific country people have made it their own, they made it for a tradition, they made it for a reason, they made it so integral to who they are as a people, I have no desire to be disrespectful.
Well, and always give credit where it's due. Exactly,
credit for where it's due. I would never want to benefit off of their traditions, their legends, their what is so integral to them as a people. I just know that I appreciate the art. I also appreciate the stories. I appreciate that culture, and I've always appreciated the idea of different things that become part of the inner routines and rituals that make different different parents over the centuries. It doesn't matter what group of people you come from, just how they have found ways to be able to create peace for their littles when they're trying to get them to go to sleep. That is something that is just, as a parent, reading that, being like, they would make these for their children to be able to be like, see, the good, your bad dreams are going to be caught in here. The good dreams are going to get to you. You're going to be safe. Something's looking after you. It reminds me just like of growing up and learning about the guardian angels. And even just, some kids sometimes will draw their guardian angels and put pictures around the room. Some people put Bible verses, some people put different things, just as a means to be able to show their children that they are being thought about. There's intention about feeling safe when they're learning how to sleep alone. There's so many different, having the teddy bear, having the safety blanket, having all these different things. This comes in so many different forms, and I find that just so beautiful. I just do. So I don't know what this is turning into yet. If I do end up doing something like a dream catcher in the past, I'm planning to hopefully learn it, find an actual person maybe from that tribe that still makes them, maybe see a video. I would love to be able to learn, because some of this is just kind of me winging it, but like I said, I don't know if this is what this would be considered as, but just the act of having a frame and then building off of that. Normal time going inside is a completely different artwork than going in and then bracing it off of it. And so I'm learning the differences, and I'm learning the cultures that have used them. And if I learn any more, I'll share it. But I just thought I would share with that. I'm trying different things, trying to find different ways of using the yarn. That's my goal. Find different ways of using the yarn. So I think it kind of would even be pretty as a frame.
It's very pretty.
And it's very soft. Feel that.
Ooh, you use the sparkle yarn too.
So I don't know what I'm going with this next. I might even just take the last layer off that didn't really work, edit it off, and maybe just put a picture in the middle. I don't know. It's just kind of fun. And I'm just learning. And as I'm learning to do something new, learning where my inspiration's history is, it's just something I feel is good to share.
I was thinking, and this is just another idea, you could hang a crystal or a prism in there.
Yeah, it's the whole thing though, right? Like, just like what you do. There's different ways. I was even considering trying to make the inside black or lacy, and then like creating like an owl or some sort of pendant that could go in the middle. It's just an idea that came to my mind, because I could always do a mandala from here, brace it on the back. The back doesn't have to be seen, and then something could be in the middle, framed by the outside. I don't know. I like the idea that when you look at what other people have done before, You can get inspired, make it your own.
I love it.
But I always like to put credit where credit is due.
Yes.
And I would never actually make one fully based off of these designs and this culture and then sell it. It's not mine to do. It's not mine to share. If you would like to get a dream catcher from people that this is their culture, they're natives, you can actually buy them from very specific online places that would be supporting different. What are they called?
Tribes?
No. I can't think. I was trying to not just the tribes, but the it supports them in different ways. I'm thinking of something that I was educated on as to different organizations that it would be going towards for them and places, but you would be getting it from a source that is from them. Right. From their heritage, from their that, right. And it would be done from their artisans, and that is okay. But if you're gonna make it, there's different places that can show you how to do it, from someone who makes them and is trying to show you how to make your own for right. you. So, and just educating you about the story, because that's the point. And I find that very special, because the more that I look into like Norwegian knitting or like how the Egyptians used to crochet or things like this. Yeah. They all have their own stories. Right. I have no desire to make it my own. I right. just want to be able to be a part of this world of yarn crafting, right, and be able to just try it and just see how I can be inspired by it to make my own craft that is just mine, and to continue on the journey for the next generation, exactly. for the next group of people, yes. and to see it's so not only beautiful but also just very it's inspiring. It is. It's just so cool to see what they've done, what people have done. Right, and we're just continuing on the journey for the next generation and to keep it going. Yep. You know, that's what's so special about all this. If we don't teach them, then it's going to come from somebody else, or it's just going to die out, and we don't want it to die out. So no, or it's good if you're not educated about how to appreciate it. It can be an entitlement situation where you think that you're entitled to someone else's culture or different ways of doing it, and it's like that. I don't want to be any part of appropriation. No. So that's just, it's just not worth. It's not only not worth it, but most people are more than willing to share their history. But if you're going to take it, then your intentions were never good to begin with. Right. There's our quote for today is, "Every act of kindness moves to a larger one till friendships bloom to show what little deeds have done." And that was said by June Masters Bacher, or Maker. Bacher? Bacher. "Every act of kindness moves to a larger one till friendships bloom to show what little deeds have done." With springtime coming and all the little things that we can do to help other people, or to, make a pot holder to help out in the kitchen, or a dishcloth to help out with the dishes, or whatever it may be. All the little things that we do to help other people is a kindness to them and to ourselves. It's a blessing for us to be able to give to others, mm-hmm. but it's a kindness to others that they weren't expecting, and mm-hmm. and it just moves towards a friendship that it
it can make sure that you just keep perpetuating. And to add to this, my friend Jane called me yesterday out of the blue, and it was such a special phone call for me because, one, I hadn't heard from her for a while, and I'd been thinking about her too. And then when she called, she says, I was just thinking about you and how are you doing and everything. And it came at the right time. I had a really hard day with doctors and labs and all the things that I had to go through, that when she called, it was just like a breath of fresh air.
Yep.
Something to help me get out of the doldrums and, see that there's actually a good thing to look forward to. And we just talked and talked and talked. And it was so fun. And I'm so grateful for friendships and for kindness that she was thinking about me and just decided, well, I'm going to give her a call. I've got a little time. Mm-hmm. And it's so special when you have those kind of friends that not only think of you, but put in the extra effort and make the phone call and say, how you doing? Mm-hmm. So I think that's just so special.
Yeah. I think what gets me about this is that every act of kindness moves to a larger one till friendships bloom to show what little deeds have done. I like the idea that it's all these well-timed, well-meaning intentions and behaviors and choices that we make along the way that add to not only a better community, but a better society. The better and stronger friendships we make that are genuine and real, the stronger our society is to be able to work as one. And I find that it's just like what I was talking about with this, where it's about the intention, it's about the heart, it's about why you're doing it. And because of that why, it means so much to people, because every little act of kindness can be so important in the long scheme of things. And so I like to just, when it's so well and eloquently said, it's just nice.
Yes.
So every act of kindness moves to a larger one till friendships bloom to show what little deeds have done, by June Masters Bacher.
That's what I'm thinking.
Bacher. So we thank you today to share your time with us. We hope that we might have inspired you to just, pick up maybe that yarn that has been sitting in the back of your drawer.
Yeah.
Because you just didn't know how you were going to work it into a project, and maybe just make something you didn't even realize that you could with materials that you didn't realize that you had.
Right.
Being able to try something new, be inspired by other people, but learn something along the way and be able to know how you can do it without, it's not about offending. It's about learning how to appreciate other people's cultures without just thinking you're entitled to it, because that is just a behavior that sometimes you don't even realize that's the line you're crossing.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. But if you do it the right way, it's absolutely fine. So it is fun to be able to share something with other people, be able to make something that is going to affect so many other people, like just such small things of the household that then just brings such sparks of joy. Be like, you made this?
Right.
Oh, look at that. You're so crafty. Look at you. You have this everywhere. Because the video or the idea of the granny that when you walk into her home and almost everything is either quilted, knitted, or crocheted.
Yeah.
And listen, and almost all the food's homemade, even the butter, the apple butter, all this stuff. And it's not because she's doing it always out of necessity. It's also a labor of love, and it's just the time she has spent to nurture a space.
Yes.
For comfort and normally having things that everyone can use. And I just love being a part of that.
Yes. So if you like this kind of video and are inspired by anything that we've said, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends.
Yes.
Oh, and comment. Let us know what you're working on.
And so until next time, we can't wait to see you till next week. Hopefully we'll have more to share with you, and we will see you then. We hope that you stitch your way
To mental health.